hello. I'm a woman, I'm a man, so hello, money medicine. Hi, gorgeous. How are you? It's so good to be here. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. For those of you who are going to be joining me, and thank you so much if you're watching me later, #replay, just to let me know what came up for you as you were watching, as you were going through this live session. Share with me your perspective, your insights. I love to know, so do let me know even if you watch later. Hi, I am so happy to be here. So we are going to be talking family dynamics and money. Family dynamics and money. I've been wanting to do this topic for a while now. It's actually not a topic. It's going to be our theme for the next 4 weeks. So it'll be a mini series where we get to dissect and go deep into seeing how our family dynamics play out or get to influence our money and our ability to create wealth. We always come to these sensitive topics with so much compassion, with the understanding that yes, in as much as we cannot change our past, and I know most of us, especially people of color, have had different experiences with family, some very painful, some traumatic, some beautiful. But I just want to bring the sensitivity to this topic, and that even as we're here, we open our hearts and have compassion for ourselves, because I do feel that there will be points where it would be a little triggering, especially when you get to deeply understand how witnessing our families and being within our families has influenced the way we right now perceive money or even our financial well-being, right? It doesn't matter whether it's in business or even in your career. One way or the other, your family played a role in how you are able to relate to money and how you perceive money now. So please do have compassion for yourself, and do open up your heart to say that if I become aware of this, the more I become aware, the more I'm able to have power to shift my reality. And of course, I am always available if you want to go deeper into this work, because it's definitely connected to the work that I do with my clients, where we do look into family issues and how that influences our mind. Okay? Right. So, every one of us originates from a certain family, right? We all are connected one way or the other to family. No one dropped in as just an individual and you're just alone. So in coming into your family, there is how you begin to witness and to observe from childhood, to witness how money was used, what your parents said about money. Sometimes it may have been your caretakers, whoever was raising you. There is where they were shaping your ability to think about money and the way you perceive money. And for most of us, if we're being honest, a lot of us, our backgrounds highlight a lot of lack and scarcity around money. So you can imagine how then that has influenced us to, even when we're making money, there are still ways or habits that we have that are still connected to the scarcity and the lack that we were groomed into, right? So right now, as I'm saying this, you may begin to think about, what is the one thing or one or two things that you remember your mom, your dad, or your caretaker talking about money? Like, what was that one phrase or one line that you knew that your caretaker used to use a lot, especially when it comes to money. Or what obsession that they have. I know in my house growing up, there was obsession around electricity. And this was because there was always an emphasis for us to remember that bills are expensive, and so we have to save. So every time, if you forget to switch on the light, you would literally hear my mom screaming, Dana! That means switch off the lights. I heard that so many times. More frequently than I should have. I would hear, switch off the lights. There was always that reminder. Or sometimes, make sure you tighten the tap. And this was because there was that obsession around bills are expensive. So in as much as I was not paying for the bills because I was young, I knew that, this thing makes my mom behave a certain way. This thing makes my mom and dad caution us a lot. So for me, it was always switch off the lights. I always knew that there was something about electricity. It was expensive. Yeah, something like that. So also you may recall something that you know that in your house, there was a phrase around money that was used a lot. What did mom and dad say? How did they talk about money? How did your caretaker talk about money? What was the one thing that you knew that, hey, if I touch this, they're going to remind me that I don't have the money, that they have the money, not me? So yes, I'd love to know what's your story, because these stories are what really connects us, or they are what created a foundation of how we are currently relating to money. I can tell you this, in every family, there are beliefs that are, I would say, unconsciously passed on to the children around money, right? This would be a belief like, oh, money is never enough, or there's always a bill to pay, there's always something to pay. In as much as we are not aware that this is a belief, because it is constantly being played out, or this is a story that we're constantly having to hear, then it becomes your belief that, oh, this means, especially because at that point we're in our childhood, you get to take this as your truth. A belief is what you take as your truth because you were repeatedly told about, or you repeatedly witnessed it to a point where you started believing that this is true, right? So with every belief, it starts out as a story, it starts out as you witnessing something, and then when it repeats constantly, then you're like, oh, then it must be true, right? So for example, if maybe it was emphasized that there's always something to pay, and you witness mom and dad always having something to pay, your belief is that with money there's always something to pay, that money doesn't just stick around, right? Some people were told money doesn't grow on trees. That's so many things. Let me hear. Oh my gosh, actually didn't want to attend this live. Yes, the phenomenon of feeling that you are not the one paying the bills. Of course, we were always constantly reminded that we're not the ones paying the bills, right? So there is that belief that is created in every family, or beliefs that are created in every family around money. There are ideas that are in a way coerced or influenced without us even realizing. For example, if you grew up being told that you have to save, like always keep something, even when you are given pocket money, you had that you were always reminded that you need to be saving. Those are some of the ideas. You begin to have an idea of, oh, okay, so with money it means that I could actually save. With money, this is how I have to be thinking about it. If you grew up being encouraged to sell something, you will imagine that you will grow up knowing that, okay, I have the ability to create money because I can sell, right? But there's also where you may be given unsafe ideas around money. For example, if you would overhear a conversation with your parents where they're talking about a relative or a family friend who has money, and that conversation is leading towards things like corruption, or they hear that they did 1, 2, 3, already the idea that is being inserted there is that people who have money are doing horrible things, they're doing bad things, and this gets to influence how you then, the adult, you get to think about money or relate to money. We also have what we may call rituals, right, that every family has around money. I'll give you one of the rituals that we had. You may also think about this. I always knew that month end, when mom gets paid, when my dad gets paid, we are going to have dinner at a restaurant, or they're going to buy food, take out and bring it home. It was in a way showing that okay, money is there now in the house, month end. There's also where it influenced me to always remember to reward myself. That's a ritual. That's something you witnessed over and over again. That's something you right now may attach to money, right? Because it is a practice that was done in your family repeatedly, to a point where you were like, oh, so this is how you spend money. Even up to today, no matter what, I know that part of my money, I'm going to spend it on food. It may or may work for my good. It just depends on the level of influence that I had. So also, this is just to highlight how multi-layered our relationship with money is. So far, we've covered the beliefs that our families would have, the ideas, the rituals, right? Sometimes a ritual can be that whenever in your family, you know that whenever someone is getting married, or there is, for example, a funeral, one of the most common rituals around money would be that you contribute for each. Every time, every family member has to contribute towards someone's event, whether it's marriage, whether it's a funeral. And now what happens is that even as adults, there is where our money, we know that it doesn't matter sometimes whether you have money or not. We have this loyalty towards this ritual or this practice that, oh, I know I have to pop out something because this is what I grew up seeing. And if we're being honest, there is where also, because of this being a ritual, a practice that happened repeatedly, there is where sometimes we can't even make empowered decisions around money to say that, am I able to afford this, right? Because this is how my family has influenced me. And I will probably feel like an outsider if I don't contribute as well, or if I don't speak out, one of the things that also, one of the practices or lack of practices that happened with us and our families, whereby we couldn't have open conversations around money. How many people had the opportunity to really discuss the reality of money and understand where money is coming from? Or what we saw is our parents coming in with plastics. We didn't know where they get the money. We just knew they woke up every day, right? But there was not that open communication around. So where exactly is the money coming from, and where does it go? How come after a few days you are now frustrated? How come there's always that time of the month where you are too happy and you treat me a certain way? All that was in a way influencing, right, how we think about money and how we feel about money without us realizing. And when we come into the adult self now, a lot of us adapted some of those practices, some of those beliefs unconsciously, and they play out unconsciously, and they influence how now we use our money. They influence our boundaries around money, our ability to make empowered financial decisions. They influence even the level of risks we're able to take with our money. Like in finance, there is where, before investment, there is where we profile a client to say that this type of client, are they a low risk client, a medium, or a risk loving client? I will tell you this, in as much as there are these brackets, this is the client who would take lower risk, this and that profiling is somehow also still connected to the upbringing of that client, to the family values of that client, to the rituals they were exposed to the practices and the beliefs that were exposed to. in that family. So you will find that, for example, also how you experienced mom and dad will influence you. If you grew up with parents who are strict, there's a high chance that you will be afraid to take risks. Like, you will have ideas around business, but never trust yourself to make a decision to say that, yes, I'm going to put in my money, I'm going to work, and I'm going to create more money, with my ideas. So there is where you may doubt yourself because your parents were strict. There's also where sometimes it can be that if you were given so much responsibility as a child, with your family, within your family, this happens a lot with firstborn children. You might find that you struggle a lot with receiving money or allowing financial help to come through. This is because you, as someone who was groomed to be the one who's responsible, you then became someone who's always having to take care of others. I see this with a lot of women who learned to, because I work with women, with a lot of women who were given more responsibility. They also bring into their money a sense of responsibility to always be taking care of others, to always be nurturing others with their money, and in the process sometimes abandon their own ideas because they were taught to be more responsible towards others. Yeah, so it is so complex, it is so multi-layered, and what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks is I'm going to be breaking it down for you, how family influences. We're going to be talking about the father and how witnessing our own fathers has influenced our ability to create money, has influenced how we view money. Some of the wounds that were created in influencing, in witnessing the father or experiencing our father, whether they were present or not, how that is playing out within your money, within your bank account. Our experiences with our moms. Some of us, our moms used to take us shopping, and even now we still know that, money is for shopping. How that also may play out is that as the adult woman, your money will be like, okay, so where can I take my money in a way that I'll be able to shop? Okay, so this is how it will play out. You are with your family, you have a partner, you have your husband, right? And then you unconsciously know that, okay, my money as a woman is for spending because that's what I used to do with mom and it was fun. You'll find that what usually happens in most families, we then create this practice where the woman's money will go to things like renovating the house or buying furniture in the house or buying food, while the man's money will go to building property, investing in property, paying for school fees, bigger responsibilities, or the type of responsibilities that I would say have high chances of bringing return on investment, right? And then with the woman as the part of the family, most of her money will go to things that are more homely, more on children's clothes, children's food. This is because mom influenced us in a way that we knew that our money is for shopping, or mom's money is for shopping, right? The adult self still has to create a way where money is for shopping, and that will mean giving our money roles that will trigger shopping. Yes, if you can relate, let me know. If you can relate this, let me know. So yeah, we are going to expand this into the father, how the father influenced, how the mother influenced, and also we get to talk about holistic family patterns and how they're influencing us, and how you may begin to heal those patterns. Because here's the thing, and here's what I believe is the assignment for all of us who desire to create money and overflow and to create abundance for ourselves. We need to look into the past and see how it has influenced us. If right now you are trying to create wealth or trying to create money, or you are interacting with money and you are still not aware of some of the beliefs, the practices that are influencing you and your bank account, you and the way you use money, then there is that gap that is still there that needs to be attended to, so that you can now start understanding within your money, within your financial decisions, Is it really you? Is it really all of you? Is it really all your ideas? Or some of it may still be your mom's ideas, your dad's ideas, your caretaker's ideas, right? Why a lot of us, our experiences with money don't change in as much as we are able to increase our incomes is because there is where our family patterns are still playing out with our money. If you witness debt in a family, you might unconsciously also create debt within your money, right? If you witnessed even your parent failing at a business or a family business failing, you may create a fear that, oh, business fails. There is where one way or the other, your family dynamic created a version of you right now that is currently making the income that you're making, right? And if you want to shift that, it will look like addressing those family patterns and healing those family patterns, and now starting to really become aware of how you were influenced within your money, right? So yes, I do look forward to the next few weeks where we're going to be breaking it down, going deeper into family dynamics and money. We're going to primarily look into the father and money, the mother and money, the family patterns as a whole, when it comes to our money and how we can begin to heal. This is to help us expand more with our money and to make even more empowered financial decisions that are mostly about us or mostly connected to our truth other than our family truth. And yeah, sometimes it will mean you rebelling against those unhealthy patterns and starting new ones. You are the person who gets to begin new family patterns, especially if you're here to create wealth, which I believe you are here for, right? If this already sounds exciting for you, I am so happy. I go deeper in this work in my money medicine work, it's now going to be a 16 weeks program where I'm going to be expanding so much in helping you heal more of your family patterns, your wounds around money, what has influenced you around money, so that you can actually allow yourself to grow your income, to increase your money, and safely be able to hold money. So yeah, if already you're connected, you're excited about this, I hope you stick around even next week as we break down more and more of how a family has influenced. But also do DM me, do click my bio link to book a session where you and I can go deeper into this work one-on-one. Yes, thank you so much for being here. I would still love to know more of how you experienced money. What were you told by your parents? What did they say? Any phrases that were often very repeated over and over again for you to remember about money? Do let me know. If you're watching later, #replay. Yeah, see you next week. Hopefully Wednesday 5 p.m. will be possible. It was supposed to be possible yesterday, and then we had power cuts, so I couldn't be here. But yes, 5 p.m. Wednesday, it should be money medicine time. All right. Thank you. Bye.